Page International and CNN-News18 present 100 Most Admired Brands and Inspirational Leaders.
Welcome back to our special series. Page International and CNN-News18 present 100 Most Admired Brands and Inspirational Leaders. In this segment of the show, let's talk about Maersk. AP Moller Maersk is an integrated container logistics company. It is the world's largest container shipping company, covering all major trade lanes. It is represented in 55 locations across 28 cities in India with over 17,000 plus employees. Through its integrated solutions, the company is offering end-to-end logistics solutions to its customers in India, which includes landside logistics, warehousing, supply chain management, customs house brokerage, ocean shipping, and so on. Shalini Nataraj is the global HR head of GSP Fleet and Strategic Brand at Maersk. Her expertise in building a strong talent agenda to support the ever-changing business is highly valued in the organization. In addition, she is a staunch advocate for strong community relations, diversity, and inclusion at Maersk. Welcome, Shalini.
Thank you, Mugdha. It's a pleasure to be here.
Shalini, Maersk is a market leader that set its own goals and created new milestones. But the global pandemic has caught even the best off guard. What was it like for you? How has the pandemic changed you as a leader?
Yeah, that's a great question and something I keep thinking about all the time. I think it's a state of mind. It isn't a title or a role. And my specific state of mind has changed a lot since the pandemic. And I'm guessing my leadership style has changed along with it. A few things that I'm thinking I'm different at and better at now is just balancing professional and personal. Like literally, I've had access to all my people, teams, homes, and to know their family, know their pets, know how they treat each other. And that was a realization that I don't think I had before. So now I'm a little bit more conscious about, oh, I'm guessing this person has a child at home, so I shouldn't call them at X time. That I would have done very easily before. So I think I'm a lot more empathetic, a lot more balanced, but I also feel like I'm treating them as adults a lot more than before. And the same thing that we're doing at Maersk, right? We're allowing people to have an opinion about when they work, how they work, what they wear when they come to work or the video. So I feel like as a leader, I've become a lot more balanced, a lot more reasonable about people having a life outside of work. And the biggest thing for me and biggest learning has been that how do I continue to do this even after this crisis goes away?
How are you keeping your teams motivated, remotely that is?
Yeah, that's, and to be honest, it has been a challenge, right? Because all of us as leaders are also going through personal challenges, going through issues with safety, maybe at home, and to take care of our families, and then to be available for our teams and motivate them has been harder than when we would do it face to face. And let me take a step back and think about the time that I have been truly motivated. What did my boss do? What did my company do to keep me motivated, right? And it all boils down to letting me be, letting me choose what I want to do, when do I want to do it, and not putting guardrails and too many processes and practices in place to help me operate from home. It's also when I have been respected and treated as an adult. And as I now think about, as an HR person, think about what my company can do to keep our teams engaged, a lot of it comes down to asking them how they want to be treated. And most of our leaders have been having this everyday conversation about, hey, how are you really doing? What can I do to support you and help you? And in the past, these conversations were very much related to tasks that they had, very much related to the work that they were doing. And now it's a whole lot more than that, right? Leaders have become a whole lot more accessible, hence which motivates our teams to actually let them know if they're not doing okay.
What are some of the industry altering trends that you foresee?
Yeah, that's a great question. And of course, the easy answer is the technology advancements that will happen to make it possible to work from anywhere, anytime, right? And I feel like that's something that will always continue. I also feel like as humans, we've changed a lot, which will then alter some of the human trends, if you will. And I'll give you an example. I'm into meditation and mindfulness. And during the pandemic, I actually took a week off and went to this remote farm and sat there and worked. And my productivity, my engagement, my inspiration, everything was bigger and much better than when I worked from home. So I feel like this whole workation as a trend is going to pick up. I feel like people are going to pick all of these exotic places, not go away from work, but to actually take work with them, and then to do it in a comfort and in a pleasurable environment. So these are some interesting things, but I also have seen some many people, like I picked up Bharatanatyam as a traditional Indian dance form. So a lot of people are picking up hobbies that they never got to. So I think that's another trend that's going to only get better.
Shalini, you're one of the inspirational leaders of 2020. What is your leadership style, or if I may say, a leadership philosophy? And what do you think is the role of a leader now in 2021?
That's a great question. And maybe I'll think about a time when I've asked this question out of my team as to what is that one thing they would think of when they think of me? And the answer most times have been empowering. And this is not so much about me, but more about what do people really want from their leaders. And like I've mentioned before, it's about empowering them to be who they are, empowering them to make decisions that work for them. And I believe that they will bring their best when you do that. So my core leadership style is to bring out the best in people by empowering them. And I feel like as I go into pandemic, as we get out of pandemic, if leaders can accept that not everybody works in the same way, they don't fit into the same mold. So how do we then, as leaders, cater to who they really are and what they need, instead of taking one policy or a practice and then just copy pasting it to everybody, right? So the bottom line, I would say, if I have to advise, or one thing I want to leave with leaders, is to listen, is to literally ask the question every single day, listen genuinely, and then figure out how you can be that leader for that person, not what you were for somebody else you spoke to just a while ago.
I wish you all the very best for all the projects and all the initiatives that you are taking, Shalini, for your company and at a personal level as well. And thank you so much for giving us your precious time.
Thank you, Magdan. It's been really interesting, and I'm really, really appreciative of this topic and of your interest in talking more about this with all of us as leaders from the industry. Thank you. It's been a great pleasure.
Well, time now for a short break. You're watching our special on 100 Most Admired Brands and Inspirational Leaders.
White Page International and CNN-News18 present 100 Most Admired Brands and Inspirational Leaders.